is really the support, but the strength of the draft is that you can still switch even at this moment, which is really cool. Not something you see, you know, ever actually.
Matchup goes. I think this is actually a really good matchup for the DP. So we'll see how Execration kind of manage that. TNC just cutting the wave, not even stealing it. They're just farming it right here. Tims and Sam H. I think they want to. Oh, they want to go under the tower with their wave. All right, there you go. Nando, what's he gonna do here? He can't clear the wave nearly fast enough. The battery assault's coming in. TNC just giving them the move click. They're not even aggroing the tower. They're just letting the creeps do it. The TP's coming in from Lumic, trying to help out. Another Ion Shell coming up. Tims now laying in with the auto attacks, and that's just first blood. TNC man. With the
like an earlier impact, and the spell builds are generally the best way to recover when you have a start like this. Because honestly, it doesn't matter that he's doing very poorly. It might matter now as Tims comes around.
Yeah, they got him slowed down. A couple of auto attacks. All they needed to do is drive him back towards Cuckoo. I don't think,
or drive by Blink. And by the time you make that decision, the game could just, you know, change very rapidly.
Surging Tims forward. Nando, nice Avatos combo back and keep Tims at bay, but Sam H still closing in on him. They were saving the battery assault. They knew that that toss combo was going to happen, and now they bring in Cuckoo. The toss goes out, but Nando, I think he's still dead. Can they finish him off? A little bit more damage. They definitely needed that rotation. From it's going to be enough, but Tims wants to try for it. It is going to take him a second to activate the battery assault, and that might be all the window that Raging Potato needs. Nope. Actually, now with another Spirit Lance slow coming through, Tims is going to cut him off. He does manage to grab the bouncer room, but looks like Raging Potato 100% dead. Raven just going to snag that last hit, keep himself afloat in terms of farm. But things looking really good in this early game for TNC. Almost a 2k net worth lead, 1.5k experience, 4 kills. They've got Lumic here on the mid lane, it looks like. Kinetic Field's going to get dropped down. Raging Potato arrives. He also just takes a Spirit Siphon for his troubles. Carl's just going for some BOTs. So, I mean, it's not really one build or the other just yet. He's not really committed. Nando going to get Fiend's Grips. I mean, he does have a little bit of status resistance, but it's not going to save him here. He gets the Avalanche off, but Tims quickly finishes him off. Fog of War, no vision, but still knowing that the enemy team is probably too far away to stop you cutting away quickly. They're going to toss in on top of Tims. Raging Potato threatens the ultimate, doesn't need to pop it just yet, but he does actually get silenced up. Can they burst him in time? They might be able to. Raging Potato's dead. Tims is still alive. It's a 1-for-1 so far. The Static Storm Kinetic Field getting dropped down, but it's just not doing any damage in the face of this Death Prophet, who now runs forward. Carl out of spirits. They're going to Nightmare him up. He's also dead. The Silence doing so much work in that fight. Yaj looks like he should be able to escape, but that ends up being a 3-for-0. Execration. That was not the fight that they were hoping for underneath that enemy tier 1 tower.
No, steals the regen here, but Yaj might pay for it. He doesn't have Orb. His Blink's being cancelled right now. He can phase, but it's a very short phase because it's low level, and I don't think that regen was worth it. Cuckoo now.
Fury after these BOTs, so that's maybe the one remaining hope for Execration, is that they can just get a super fat PL and he can kind of carry them. They are going to go onto the Clockwork once again. Tim's taking damage, but he's super tanky. The Static Storm also getting dropped, potentially just for him. He drakes the coil, managing to run back through. They popped a lot for that kill. TNC still hiding inside the trees. Sam H, 3 points up in the vacuum. Primal Split might now arrive, just working on the pandas. Doesn't have a care in the world. Actually might even be able to bring down the Storm Bruling. They send the Tiny up into the air, vacuum him back. No mana left. Gets Fiend's Gripped up. And that is going to be the end.
I mean, apart from the Brewmaster and Ember, but again, it's just...
Yeah. And poor Raging Potato, I mean, he pops the Shrine, but that's just bonus value for TNC on that kill. Oh, man. And now what? Hook gonna catch across over onto Yaj and his puck. He does get the phase shift off, but it's only level 3, and now he gets pushed back by the cogs before his Blink Dagger comes back. Should be able to blink, but Raven cutting down those trees. Is the Rocket Flare gonna scout him? No. Alright, looks like he should be okay. So Raven straight back to farming, working his way towards the Manta. They get the grip over onto the Brewmaster. He's silenced up. They do manage to cancel the grip from 1-4-3-7, but it just does not matter. Raging Potato, is he going to be able to escape 1-4-3-7? Maybe doesn't want to use the Fiend Script. Nice Rocket Flare, going to scout him just a little bit, and now they get the hook in. Raging Potato looking 100% dead. Just going to be some Spirit Vessel charges.
Right, so...
Yeah. I think they can quite easily go high ground here. They know that the Primal Split is also on cooldown. Cuckoo getting comboed, gets tossed out of the Static Storm. It's actually going to just prevent the rest of the team from coming over, but Cuckoo pops the BKB and just runs in. He's going through everybody. They cancel the TP out on the Tiny. He's going to be finished off. Execration trying for a cute play, isolating the Death Prophet from her team, but it just does absolutely nothing. Cuckoo laps it off, and they go straight onto the lane of Rax, looking like it is going to be probably like a 25-26 minute GG in game 1, Lumi.
Oh, it could be right now, man. Raging Potato in a lot of trouble. He's going to get brought down. Pump getting pushed back. Silence and gripped. They're touching him every other way. TNC will get the tier 3. Exorcism has ended, but they could just right-click it down. That is 2 lane of Rax with 1 Exorcism. That's what I call value.
Yeah, that's this is a real get out of my game moment, I think, from TNC. They don't have to go anywhere. They're all healing up. Look at the Darkseer's HP regen. He's got 50.1 HP regen. Picks the 12 HP regen talent as well. He's not going anywhere. Raven still has the Aegis. Mega Creep's coming up 25 minutes in. Yeah, all Execration can do is watch.
A pretty poor draft by Lumic.
Yeah, I feel like they outdrafted themselves a little bit. Just with the lineup. Oh, the sound's coming out before the Primal Split can even be used. Nando tossing his teammates into their death. There's the good game well played being called, but not before Lumic hits the ground. Raging Potato coming back in. Once again, he's being nightmare. Can he get the ultimate off? No. They just won't even let him. The Ancient explodes before he can even get it off. And Brewmaster sits there dejected. Not their read on the patch is good, because these are heroes that they've been going to time after time in this qualifier. Yeah, all right. So Tim's is taking over babysitting here. 147 back over at top. Raven getting pressured a little bit. Sanking does have the point up in the caustic at the beginning of the lane. Infernal Blade, the selection from Doom. Raging Potato, what kind of creep has he got? There's a Centaur over here. Oh, paralyzing cast, doing a little bit of damage. That's about it. Cuckoo on the mid lane wants this kill on Carl, but actually just going in too deep and tanks some tower shots. Lumic auto-attacking the whole time, and that's going to be the end of that. Looks like
a terrible matchup either, because oftentimes if you could get Razor isolated from the creep wave, you could just walk in with Battery Assault, and he doesn't really have a way to counter.
Oh man, Raging Potato's dead. Metamorphosis came back up, and he was just in a way too deep. Paralyzing cast. Tiaj actually also in some trouble. Does have 2 points up in the Burst Strike, but Tim's mana burns him, and Raven finds a double. Turn, and away he will walk. Actually just going to keep an eye on Tim's at the moment. See what the support's opt to do. Maybe try and cancel one of these clarities if he's being a super nuisance. More damage on Raven, but I think he's going to be fine. There's also a Burst Strike for some harassment. There is a Metamorphosis ready to go. Now the Paralyzing Cast bouncing through Tim's with a follow-up stun. Raging Potato, not nearly enough armor, and that Scorched Earth just works against him. Nice spiked Carapace, keeping him locked down. Denies that he has creeps. Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh man, Sam H with the hook coming in from behind. Carl does have the Imprison, but that's not going to save him. There's still 3 more heroes wanting his life, and Tim's will be the one to in response. Nando was anticipating the dive, but it's not going to happen. Cuckoo just going to be TPing in towards the mid lane, gets straight up imprisoned. OD also buying some small items this game, is going to be opting for the drum. So we'll probably drum 4 staff. Cuckoo trying to man up, but can't really do it into the Astral, even with only 1 point. Raging Potato's coming across, he's got the Doom, he raises his hands up, and that's big trouble for Cuckoo. Also gonna get hit by the Infernal Blade. Raging Potato super fast. Hit him with the Hadouken, and now he's gone. Sam H will look for the turnaround. Comes in with the Battery Assault and the Cogs. Tim's with the stun from the low ground. And Raging Potato pays with his life, but still forced a bunch of rotations and got the Queen of Pain kill. Nicely done, so long as Carl survives. There is a hook shot available from Sam H and comes straight across. Very nicely connected. OD does get the imprisonment down. Nice spike Carapace once again from Tim's. Might be enough to finish this kill. The Nightmare trying to save him. He's ticking down to the air now, and the Maledict ends up being a 1-for-1 underneath the Radiant Tier 1. And 1437, just barely getting out. Brain Sap, 1 more second. Who unfortunately does not have the mana for the Fiend's Grip and does need to be at least a little bit careful of the double damage Queen of Pain lurking around. Tim's with the Vendetta, just going to settle for the Courier. Heads over towards Carl now. Does manage to stun him up before the imprisonment comes out. Carl needs to be a little bit careful. Spike Carapace is going to keep Tim's alive a bit longer, but nope. Sanity's Eclipse is going to pop him. Can they actually muster this defense? That's the question. Sam H coming in from the side, has the hook shot at the ready. Could just isolate Lumic, but he has bigger fish to fry potentially. He runs forward, pushing back Nando, trying to break the link, splitting up the fight beautifully. They isolate 1, but now the epicenter comes through onto 2. Can they burst them both down? The Imprisonment's going to finish the first kill. 147 gets right click down on the backlines. Cuckoo gets finished off by the Razor. Nando cleans up the tier 1 tower.
Has fallen. Radiant's
bottom side. Looks like they're gonna ping one out, and it's gonna be Terrorblade doomed up, so no Sunder here. Execration all of a sudden coming alive, tying up the TNC's constantly fighting into the Razor, which I don't think is a good idea. Razor is the one that's probably the tankiest one, he's the most mobile one.
Raging Potato caught out by the Vendetta gank here, he's gonna be brought down. But yeah, able to bring down TNC with the deep smoke. They have to keep them away from the shrine, and Nando might actually be able to backstab them. They're looking towards Carl. Nice job with the spiked Carapace to lock down the OD, but now the counter initiation comes in with the Sanking. Burst strike through, grip onto Sam H, but the immediate cogs coming out. 157 trying with the power, well, trying with the Death Ward, but not doing enough. Sam H looks like he'll also get brought down. Deep rotation. They do just end up losing in the midst of all of that. I don't know if they're going to be able to use this anytime soon, but... Epicenter
being channeled up, Cuckoo on the left side, and gonna get burrowed on. Do they have another stun to chain it? Ooh, he's so low, the haste runs away. Oh my goodness.
I mean, Strength Tread's 100% saving his life there. Not quite so lucky. His poor old Tim's gonna get caught out and brought down.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
take a Roche.
Under attack.
Yeah, and they spot Cuckoo. He's on top of the shrine, able to blink himself a little bit further away. Yaj still chasing. Force Staff, Burst Strike. Can they get in range for the Doom? Yes, they can. They're just going to have to leave Cuckoo for dead here. Tims does complete the TP in. They're trying to pincer a little bit. Samage coming forward. Raven, they're using him on the front lines to do damage, but Razor able to Force Staff himself down onto the low ground. Now Cuckoo isolating Lumic. Doesn't look like he really has any way out of this. There is no stuns, actually. And he just TPs himself out of there. Very big investment there. Samage maybe not done. Does spot Yaj, but he's got a Force Staff and he's got the Burst Strike. Actually, Burst Striking in quite aggressively. The Blade Mail gets popped, but Carl just waiting that out. Still has the Force Staff to be able to press forward, but may have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Just getting right click down. Epicenter coming through onto the Queen of Pain. Still barely tanky. This might be a dieback. Cuckoo down. The two trapped inside the cogs. Yaj looks like he'll be finished off. Raven able to get up onto the high ground. And what? Now they just go and take this tier 1. Alright, so still good job. Yeah, and Razor just working on a BKB. We've got 2 Lincolns queued up for... Oh, actually, they're... Cuckoo, like, had a Lincoln... He had the Yules queued up for a second, then he queued up the Lincolns. Now he's back to the Yules. Oh, Fiend's Grip on Cuckoo. Cannot afford another death, but he will be brought down. That is so unfortunate. But he's involved with this gank at the moment. Looks like he found an illusion rune. This could be a big opportunity. They see Carl TPing in down towards bottom. They do get a nice hook in on top of him, but Carl will be able to imprison himself. That's going to open up time for the TPs to come in. They will be able to push back Nando as soon as he arrives straight into the stun. Can they burst him down with Raven? They will be able to. There's just way too many Terror Blades. They kill off the 2 big cores and TNC. Maybe this is just their chance. There's no glyph. They've got the meta running forever. Oh, man. Decisive play from TNC. Raven's going to keep on marching forward. 1437, maybe a little bit big for his britches. Is going to get some help from Cuckoo to run himself away.
Yeah, he's okay. And now they're going to at least hit this tier 3 a little bit. If they get the tier 3, this is going to be a big win. OD has buyback, but obviously doesn't want to use it. But
Grip used on the other side. They're just keeping them away from mid. There's going to be a Doom coming in. 1437, paralyzing cast. Kind of bouncing everywhere. Can they actually keep this co-op alive? It looks like they might be able to. There's no booty restoration left. Sam H running across. Raven doesn't want to get distracted. Oh, gets the meta. I don't know how. Is there a reliable way to do this? Get the ranged illusions with the... Oh, Cuckoo chasing forward. TNC looking for some kind of counterplay after this push. They've also once again managed to find out the OD. There's 1 Force Staff. He's also got a Hurricane Pike to get himself out of harm's way. He's ticking down a little bit to the Spirit Vessel. Will be difficult for him to re-engage. Samage, is he going to get gripped? The Creep's keeping vision. TNC, now it's time for them with their Force Staff plays. Doom able to pop the BKB, avoiding the Carapace, moving forward. Still has his ultimate available. They are going to leave 1437 behind, perhaps. No, Raven trying to stand in between them and the Shrine, but Nando gets through. Sandy's Eclipse gets dropped down. Tims is very, very low, but Cuckoo with the Sonic Wave finishes off 2. Now they pop the Doom. It's onto the Terror Blade. He won't be able to get off the Sunder. It's all down to Cuckoo at this point. He can't really do enough. A few more auto attacks from Raven is all that he has. Like having the Terror Blade hide kind of just around the corner in fog and then popping out is very well played. Oh, Clop in some trouble. Doesn't have the blink. There's actually an ensnare from the Doom.
Yep.
Here.
Also waiting around the corner. He's got a blink. Who's going to be able to try for the snatch? Roshan's just about to drop. Tims with the stun, jumps in, he gets the snatch! He doesn't get the last hit, but still securing the age is so valuable, and Nando's actually extremely low. Tims might even be able to get a blink off after the respawn. They're scattering in every direction to try and find him. Tims gets the blink up onto the high ground. Okay, Raging Potato's still after him. The stun out, he misses the Burrow Strike. Tims, 5 seconds to go. He's been Yulesed up. Alright, he's dead. He's dead.
The space.
Worth.
Oh my god. How does he even have vision? I know the flare was there, but the flare I think was fading. So
yeah, I need to go back and watch that from player perspective. Because it going for a Lotus shortly after that, definitely a good Lotus game. For the same reasons that it's a good Lincoln's game for the other heroes. TNC coming around the corner here. They're going to look in. They jump in. They actually managed to catch a Raging Potato a little bit further back. Samage splitting up the fight. They're catching up to Nando. He gets the BKB off, but still getting right click down. Tims will be the first to fall. Samage, he got hit by the Fiend's Grip. Nando barely surviving. Will those last few ticks finish him? It looks like he actually managed to limp back towards the base. Cuckoo looking to continue fighting. Raven standing his ground, but he does actually get disarmed up, and Carl back out of the imprisonment. We'll just be able to right click him down. It's a triple kill for the OD. He dropped the Sanity's Eclipse in the middle of all of it, and making some moves. Terrorblade does have a buyback available, but no Metamorphosis, so it doesn't really matter all that much. BKB's ready to go on Carl. Cuckoo jumping in aggressively. Does have the Yules to help himself out. Will actually be able to reset. Now Tim's coming in looking for a stun. Will just barely catch onto the OD. Looks like the tier 3 might be... And looks like TNC kind of trying to drag it over towards this Obs plus Sentry combo that they have going on over on the high ground. They try for the stun onto Carl, but immediate burst strike onto Tim. He's down. That's another BKB charge used. If TNC can get out of here without losing anyone else, that could be big, but there is a buyback from the Nyx Assassin. They're looking to turn back around. Raging Potato actually getting chunked by Raven. Can they get the Doom off? He just barely manages to. Onto the Queen of Pain. Carl's still stealing in. He drops the Sanity's Eclipse. The Fiend's Grip is keeping Raven controlled. If he can just get out of this, he'll be able to use the BKB and perhaps get the Sunder off. Can he find a target? The Lincoln's is being popped. He turns back around, but the Lotus Orb from Yacht is going to prevent the Sunder from doing anything. Raven's still fighting. Carl comes back in. He's able to auto-attack a little bit longer. Raven just trying to find his way out. More buybacks from TNC. Cuckoo looking to rejoin this fight. 1437, no TP. He's stuck in the trees. Raven waiting for his TP to cool down. Looks like he has managed to find a little hidey hole, and he will be able to escape. And TNC just continuing to try and take fights over on this Radiant side of the map. Carl is invis. Do they have any detection? They are going to be able to try and pop this. Try and pop the Queen of Pain. Gets forced up a little bit further away. Sam H going to try and open up the space. He's got 3 inside of the cogs. Do they actually have any damage to follow it up? Sam H with the Blade Mail doing the best that he can. Nyx Assassin going to get gripped. Cuckoo jumps in. The Fear will end up canceling the Fiend's Grip as Raging Potato can't quite find a target for the Doom, and he gets mowed down. Now Raven is marching forward, looking for more. Lumic going to try for the TP out. There is no Yule. Sam H going to get the cogs pushback. Yes, he can. Lumic just barely finished off, and that was...
Botmax is open. I think they could actually do this. I mean, okay, all of the heroes on the Radiant side still have their ultimates left, but they don't have the BKB. So if TNC could find a good initiation stunning, the OD in particular, they have a good shot of winning this game.
Yeah, and the Aegis is down. There is a glyph, so that's going to be forced out now, but they don't really have much initiation. They actually find the Sand King canceling the epicenter. Nicely done by Cuckoo. They get the Hex up onto the Nyx Assassin. 2-man burst back through. Samage also taking big damage, but Nando getting forced back by the Scotty. He does pop the BKB. Raven stands his ground using the Manta, wants this lane of frags, going to try and clean up more. They've actually isolated the OD on the other side. The Cogs pushback is perfect. Carl can't get anything off. He buys back now into the game. He does have the Sanity's Eclipse ready to go, but can they actually catch anyone? The Burst Strike still on cooldown for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Carl running in. They're actually going to turn around and fight. Raven doesn't have the ulti. Sam H traps him inside of the Cogs. The Sanity's Eclipse kills off the Clockwork. 1437 now trying to make his escape. They do manage to get the Hex up onto the Terrorblade. He's got his BKB once he drops back down. They'll be able to pop that and just try for the TP out, and he's fine. TNC get the lane of Rax. They get the OD battle. They're already on their front door. Tanking heads up. BKB bot up for the Queen of Pain. I mean, can fear them back towards their base, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save this lane. The Eye of the Storm's being popped. Nando wants to probably try and commit for more as they head over towards the top side. Sam H still needed his Lotus just yet. Has been doing the majority of the warding for the team, it looks like. What's the gem situation? We do have a Burst Strike coming in. They're looking to turn this around onto Yaj. What's he got? He will be able to heal himself up. Nando now coming forward, but Cuckoo with the Fear, sending them packing. Is he going to get doomed? They actually managed to pop his Lincoln. He gets the BKB off the Cogs from Sam H. Might be the saving grace here. It's Raven able to start slicing through Nando. The secondary Doom coming in onto Raven, but he's just not taking any damage just yet. Carl now running forward. Can he actually do the job? They get the Hex up. There's no way to undoom their Terrorblade, so he's going to get Sanity's Eclipse down. Tim's able to find a little hidey hole and maybe get the blink out. No, they've spotted him, and he will be finished off. TNC somehow managed to...
And he does have the refresh ore, but doesn't want to pop in willy-nilly here.
Yeah, alright, BKB jump in. Hex, can they actually get anything? Carl may have jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good. Now Tim's going to turn around. They've got the stun. They should just be able to burst the OD. Can he imprison himself? He will be able to. Might be able to blink out of this one unless Sam H has the Cogs. He's just waiting with the batteries while Carl manages to blink himself out. But Cuckoo is right on top of him. He's dead for 120 seconds. And TNC going to come knocking on the door. The hook shot forward Yeah, Sam H just saying. I mean, it's just important that they take it away from Execration because they
want to fight for it.
Definitely have some value. All right, they're going to pop that. Oh, the Sand King trying to queue up the epicenter, but I don't think he's going to get the chance. He's being feared. He will be able to use himself. The Doom jumping in. He manages to get it up onto the Terrorblade. The TNC just kiting away. Nando with the fairly ineffective BKB. Raging Potato with the secondary Doom. Now over onto the Quap. I think he should be able to run down Cuckoo up on the high ground. Terrorblade still waiting. Still waiting. They have lost their Nyx Assassin. Carl jumping forward aggressively. Another Hex, but a Force Staff up onto the high ground. He finds himself in a bit of an awkward situation, but actually might be exactly what he needed. They're going to buy back on the Quap.
Roshan. They don't take it necessarily that fast, but of course, TNC is very far away from Roche. I don't think they can make it there in time unless Clockwork hooks in away from a mile.
He's got the distance. He's in range now. He should actually be able to do this. They're going to jump in. They got the fear. They're stunned up. And now they've also got the Aegis, who managed to get away with the cheat. I don't know if it really matters. Nando's about to drop. They have to keep Carl alive. He did just buy back early. Nando, one more touch to finish him. Rocket Flare's going to get it. Samage with the double. Lumic getting ticked down. TNC looks like they may have actually just found... Well, we doubted the scaling potential of the Clockwork, but Sam H has certainly made me eat my words in this game.
Cuckoo picked up the refresher shard, and now we're going to see a hook in.
Yeah, they're going to work. He pops that refresher. Can they burst down Nando? Can they burst down Carl? They've got the secondary Hex. Nando's dead. Carl trying to escape back to his fountain. Looks like he might be able to make it, but the rest of the team is gone. TB just way too much damage, laying in with the auto attacks. Raven, is he even going to bother going for the tier 3? No, straight onto the tier 4. TNC sensed their opportunity to move forward, and Execration know when to call it a day.
Holy. What a comeback here from TNC. They were very much down after the late.
They never closed the net gap, Lumi. They were never ahead on gold the entire game.
Yeah, just out